Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, we're making a delicious, so easy, caramelized onion and cheese puff. I'm also gonna add bacon. You don't have to. Think of like the yummy sweet onions of like a French onion soup, but we're gonna take that and Gruyere that would go in a French onion soup. We're gonna stuff it in puff pastry with some salty bacon. We're gonna bake them, and they are perfection. They are the thing to make if you are having people over this holiday season and you want to treat them to something really fun and easy and simple. If you follow me on Instagram, we did a live the other day and we talked about a lot of things. One of those things was the direction for what we should do for holiday season, and then we all agreed that we are going to do really fun, really yummy, really easy, picky food that we can share with friends and family all holiday season. Because sometimes, here's the thing, right? Yes, obviously, you know, the big event is a big deal, but I almost think it's more fun, at least it is in my household, to have lots of smaller gatherings instead of a few really big ones. And that for me, sometimes all you want to do is have like a poker night with your friends. And what else do you really need except for these and maybe some chips with a dip, a nice spiced wine, you know, some kind of drink of choice or whatever, and then just have fun and relax. I'm looking forward to lots of those moments this season, and I'm going to share with you foods that are perfect for that season. So, starting off with a bang with these little puffs. They're absolutely delicious. I'm using a red and a yellow onion simply because I want to, but 2 yellow onions, 2 red onions would be just fine. I'm just going to go ahead and slice them nice and thin. If we can get this off, it's going to make me cry. I'm going to just slice them nice and thin, and I'm going to also grate some Gruyere cheese.
What are you in action in for?
Onions look fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and add a little garlic. Get that in there just for 30 seconds. You want to warm it up, get those flavors to bloom. I like to add about a tablespoon of brown sugar. It really helps that caramelization. A little bit of dry thyme if you have fresh, use that. I don't, so I'm using dry. It's all good. Get that stirred in. And now at this point, I'm going to add a splash of red wine, which is totally optional, but just a little tiny bit will offset some of that sweetness from the onions. And I'm just going to cook this until the onions really reduce and become really beautiful and thick and delicious. Just a few minutes, and then we're going to roll out the puff pastry and get going. Take your puff pastry out at the last minute so that it remains really cold. I have my oven preheating to 375. You're going to take your sheet of puff pastry, lay it on a very lightly floured surface, and you just kind of warm it up and stretch it out. You're going to cut it a bit bigger than what you started with, about 1 inch on each side. Looks fantastic. Okay, so you can see you've got 3 pieces. You're going to get 9 squares out of the whole shebang. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller, unless you're better than me and can get them all even, which I know you can. I am just not blessed that way. That's just the truth of it. I also added some of the bacon into the onion mixture. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use my fork. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the onions. I'm going to show you how to do one, and then I'll continue to do the rest. You're going to take your shredded Gruyere, okay, and like a good bit there. And then you're going to take a beaten egg with either some water or some milk. You're just making a really quick little egg wash, which I should have had ready before, but you know what? It's what it is. And you're going to brush it along the edges like that. Don't worry if it's not perfect. They're not really meant to be. And nobody cares. Remember that. And you're going to just literally form little, let's call them purses, like little pocketbooks, little purses. And then really important, watch what I'm doing. I'm pinching all of the seams. And if some of the cheese oozes out, that's fine. We're not too worried about it. But for the most part, we want it to look a little something like this. I'm going to put them on a baking sheet that I have lined with parchment paper. I'm going to continue rolling. Rolling with my homies. Tell me where that's from. We've got 9 here. That one got really messed up. Don't ask me. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the egg wash. And like I said, if they open in certain areas while they're baking, do not panic. What can happen? A little cheese will ooze out? Tell me when that was the last time that was a bad thing. You know what I mean? I just don't do a very good job at brushing them over. I'm not going to lie to you. I just want them to get a little egg wash because they'll develop really pretty color. And then the salt and pepper that I'm going to sprinkle on them will adhere much better. But aside from that, the oven's ready to go. You can absolutely make these the night before and just keep them like this, no egg wash, but put them on a baking sheet, cover them with plastic wrap, and then the next day when you're ready to bake them, brush them with egg wash, and then go ahead and bake them nice and cold. They will be perfect. A little bit of salt, because remember, puff pastry can lean sweet or savory. A little pep. Into the oven, 20-25 minutes until golden brown and puffy. And that's it. I'm going to continue on the rest for later. Look how gorgeous they are. They were in the oven. Oh, look at this. They were in the oven about 25 minutes and they are perfection. I let them cool a little bit, not enough. I'm going to suffer, but I like pain when it comes to food. Hot. Oh my goodness. It's just like flavors of French onion soup in a puff with the saltiness of the bacon coming through. The nuttiness of the cheese really drives home that French onion soup flair. And it's just very dynamite. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.